The new Star Wars game has just released a few things that have left fans on the edge of the seat to say the least, and you better be ready. So to begin, a new trailer is dropping at 9 AM Pacific time on March 20th, and this specifically is going to be the story trailer, which of course means there is going to be a ton of things to actually dig through, alongside a ton more things being confirmed. But that's not all that has been revealed in the last 24 hours, because trophies have been released. A fan has spotted something hidden in a small clip that has got a lot of people very excited, but now a lot of questions are also being asked regarding a certain something. So tons to dig through, let's dive into it. Now, first up, customization has been a very hot topic for this game for a while, and it seems we've had quite the jump. Now, in this clip you see on screen, we can see Cal in what is the customization menu, and he does have some idle animations, which is great. But to add to that, someone mentioned how, and I quote, "It's cool that there are individual three-piece outfits and not just skins," and how also they can see a few other outfits on screen behind Cal, specifically a black/grey one with a big shoulder pad, and one that looks like some crocodile skin thing. Now, they said how they're definitely more happy with customization, and I totally agree. Now, a few people on the flip side have actually been more concerned about why we haven't seen as much lightsaber customization, but with numerous interviews and one in particular with IGN, it was mentioned how they did want to take customization to a whole new level in comparison to the last installment. So I think it's safe to say that overall customization just as a category is going to be pretty extensive. I mean, we're talking things like changing hairstyles, etc. So I'm definitely very excited for that. Now, new images have been surfacing on how Claude has been spotted, and you guessed it, the memes have followed respectfully since then. But to add to this, Steam has officially shown how many trophies there are to collect for this game, and we have specifically a total of 53 trophies. Now, in comparison, Jedi Fallen Order has 39 achievements, so in comparison to this installment of the game, we basically have a total of 14 extra new trophies to collect, which is awesome. And well, a companion achievement may well just be one, and I have a ton of ideas as to specifically what type of trophy that could be. Now, in a mix of these small snippet clips that have been swimming around on the internet, one clip in particular shows Cal going against the stormtroopers whilst wielding the double lightsabers, but right at the start of the clip we can actually see Bode, who of course acts as Cal's companion but actually engages in combat, which is super cool. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because we have literally not seen any footage of this, especially from Cal's standpoint, let alone combat. Now, as far as the companion element will go in this game, still technically remains a question, but I assume we will find a lot more in the story trailer, or at least I hope so anyway. Now, a lot of concerns were being raised from how initially the Jedi Survivor Twitter account went incredibly silent, but my take on that since them announcing this trailer drop for tomorrow is that we are basically entering the full-fledged marketing realm, so to say, where we of course just have over a month until this game is out, and they need to show the real big key features and what this game truly has to offer in comparison to of course the last installment, which, quick side note, is a lot, at least it seems anyway so far. Now, don't forget that this game was supposed to launch on March 17th, so with the extra month and a bit delay, I'm curious to see how polished everything will be, especially at launch. And one thing that I do honestly think was a good move, though definitely a tough one, was to make the game a current gen release only. Now, the only reason I think this is a good thing is because if you take a look at other big games released this year especially, it's quite easy to get caught up on trying to fight console limitations to, I guess, just try and make the game accessible to as many people as possible. But in the long run, I mean, let's be honest, it just causes a lot of issues to the overall player base. Now, just a quick side note, I've seen the question spring up a lot more recently, which is, do I need to play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order first in order to play this game, or at least play this game to where it makes sense? Now, in short, the answer is no, as there is apparently no in-game benefit to actually having a save file from the first game, but with that said, combat is being taken to a whole new level, so I'd actually suggest just refreshing your memory with some of the controls and just battling different enemies. But Cal will have new force abilities in the game, including a way more powerful force push and the ability to actually stop blaster fire mid-air, and lastly the option to grab an enemy and actually force them to fight on your behalf, which of course from what we've seen alone looks incredibly like a ton of fun to say the least. Now additionally, Kestis will actually carry a blaster, as of course the pre-order bonuses confirm, and that is adding another layer to combat for the most part. And in the current issue of the Play magazine, it is confirmed that Star Wars Jedi Survivor will actually feature both rideable mounts and fast travel to of course help players traverse around the game's worlds. Now as of yet, there is also no confirmation as to whether or not we will be able to get early access if you, for example, pre-order the game. So at this moment in time, for anyone who is speculating there, I'd really say just take things that you see at this moment as a pinch of salt, as until there is confirmation, you know, you can't really expect that stuff for the most part. As much as it would be good, even if it was like 10 hours early access, I'd pretty much take that, but for the most part, it's not going to be anything like 72 hours, for instance. At least at this moment in time, we have no information on if that would actually be a thing, but it's very unlikely. Now, it does not stop there, as exploration is a very big thing in this game, and we are talking about being rewarded based on how far you actually want to explore. Now, one thing that was brought to light was regarding these, I guess we could say, quote-unquote hidden slash secret caves, dungeons, etc., where you'll ultimately be facing enemies, but they will all vary quite a bit. So what I mean by that is they're technically, and I quote, technically no one-size-fits-all type scenario, as far as your combat goes and who you battle in this game will actually force you for the most part to get a bit more creative, and I think overall just really utilize the flow on how your character moves and, for example, jumps off the walls, etc, etc. Now again, if you want to compare with everything we've seen so far as just that fluidity for the most part on just seeing Cal go through combat, fighting enemies, and I guess just jumping around all over the place, it looks to be very, very smooth. But with all of that being said, it is official, so check out the video that you see on screen, because we have a lot more info now on these secret dungeons, fast traveling, and Koboh as a whole. So check out the video that you see on screen right now.